What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so California Congresswoman, former two-time Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, 84 years old, has reportedly fractured her hip abroad after a, quote, hard fall going down some marble stairs. Former U.S. Speaker of the House, or former U.S. House Speaker, Nancy Pelosi was rushed to a hospital in Luxembourg on Friday after she took a hard fall down a marble staircase. Pelosi, 84 years old, tripped as she walked down the staircase at the Grand Ducal Palace in Luxembourg City. It was reported that the longtime lawmaker fractured her hip in the tumble. Pelosi was in the country as part of a bipartisan congressional delegation that traveled to mark the 80th anniversary of the Battle of the Bulge. The injury came during an official engagement, her office said. She plans to continue working from her hospital bed. Ian Krager, a spokesperson for the lawmaker, said in a press release that she is receiving excellent treatment from doctors and medical professionals. He also said that she continues to work and regrets that she is unable to attend the remainder of the delegation's engagement. He adds that Pelosi looks forward to returning home to the U.S. soon, but didn't offer an estimate into when she'd be headed back stateside. In a photo that was released prior to the hospitalization, Pelosi is seen standing awkwardly while gripping the hand of Republican Representative Michael T. McCall. It's unclear exactly when Pelosi was taken to the hospital, but a source says the lawmaker's fall came shortly after a group photo was taken. It's been reported that Pelosi is alert and is able to walk. Okay. So this is the thing. I actually debated whether to report this because my overall point in reporting this is this is a high-level government official who suffered a medical emergency, and I felt that it's pertinent to at least report this. But I also feel like if I report this, then my comment section is probably going to be a lot of people who are going to talk about how much they loathe this woman's politics, or how they don't care about her injury. Good riddance. I hope this is the end. Stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, I don't particularly care for Nancy Pelosi's politics, and there's some other things about her that I don't particularly care about. But I also don't go around rooting for people to meet their demise, And also, Nancy Pelosi is no more corrupt than any other politician in Washington. They're all like that. The significance of Nancy Pelosi is that she is the first female Speaker of the House. At least she had 2 different tenures as Speaker of the House. But I also want to talk about this to bring up another point, and that is, this reinforces the argument I've been making, how the boomer generation just won't take the hint from their own bodies, and that is, in their own health, what their bodies are telling them, is that it's time to go. It's time to go. I remember when I was a kid, right? When I was a kid, and when I say kid, I mean like in the late 80s, early 90s, right? You had some lawmakers who were way up there, like Claude Pepper. If I remember correctly, I think Claude Pepper died. He was a champion for the elderly back when he was still young. And he became an elderly man. He was beloved by the elderly in this country. He was all for Medicare, all for all incentives that helped the older people in this country, because he felt like when he was a kid that this country, or the government especially, didn't really give a damn about older people, right? I remember him, if I remember correctly, I think he died in like May of 1989, and I think it was like just days after President Bush gave him a medal for something. It was a medal for something. Was it Congressional Medal of Honor? But anyway, Claude Pepper was like almost 90. I remember Strom Thurmond was 100, and he literally was being wheeled into the Senate when he died, like I think 6 months after he left office. He was literally being wheeled into the Senate. I remember Robert Byrd, right? And this was like, I think he died like in 2010 or something. Robert Byrd literally was having problems holding his goddamn head up, right? Could barely serve, was missing all types of time. And I remember people who were boomers saying that these people need to retire. It's time for a new generation, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And here we are in 2024, and I'm seeing the same generation not taking a hint. The same generation that complain about all these old men running the government have turned into even older people who just won't leap and cede power to hell. They won't even cede power to Generation X. You see what I'm saying? They're having a problem ceding power to Generation X, which I'm not even technically a part of. I'm talking about people born between 1964 and 1982, which I am technically a part of them, but I consider myself more of a millennial. Those born after 80, 81, right? But they won't even cede power to them. Remember, this past election, you had Kamala Harris referring to herself as a new generation of leadership. She's 60. We're not talking about JFK, who was 43, or Teddy Roosevelt, who was 42, or even Obama and Clinton, who were 47 and 46 respectively. Talking about somebody that's 60 and refer to themselves as new leadership, right? But yeah, man, look, you got this going on. You had the other day, Mitch McConnell, he fell again, like the 15th time in the past 2 years. I'm not laughing. It's not funny. I mean, yeah, Bernie Sanders, he's about 84. You know, you got, who else? What's his name? I forget his name right off the top of my head, but you got the senator that's what? Grassley. I think his name was Grassley. Chuck Grassley, he's 91. Nancy Pelosi, 84. I mean, at some point, man, like, what are we doing? Capitol Hill is turned into a nursing home. I mean, I understand older people want to feel useful, and that's great. You can still be very useful and serve a purpose as an older person, but at some point, man, you know, look, when you keep falling everywhere, you know, losing your balance, you know, as you get older, you become more susceptible to osteoporosis, of course, which of course weakens your bones and it leads to hip fracture. By the way, I'm very concerned because I'm a person that has a heart. You know what I'm saying? Even though I know I say a lot of crazy things, I have a heart. I'm rather concerned about Nancy Pelosi because if you know anything about the elderly and hip fractures, that's one of the worst things that could happen to an older person. You know, so I wish her the best. Hope nothing bad happens to her, obviously. But a hip fracture in a person that's an octogenarian is very, very serious. You know, now it's a good thing that she's able to walk. You know, but you worry about certain things. You know, when a person that's older, you worry about the fact that they don't heal the same way that younger people do, and that's one of the areas of the body that's very hard to heal. You are susceptible to blood clots with an injury like that. There's infections, all types of things. But anyway, Tell me what you guys think.